What drives most geologists is curiosity. A lot of this comes from this feeling of needing to have that exploration success to validate one's career. And also, there's ego involved. You want to win. It's just mind-blowing. You stretch for as far as the eye can see, about 12 kilometers from valley to valley with a mountain range in between that it appears just blasted with alteration. But the key is, if you get above it and look down on it, you can also see the highway, you can see the power line, you can see what could be a very easy access route to a future development here. The Highway 37 project is the largest contiguous project held by any junior in BC's Golden Triangle. If you didn't know, the Golden Triangle is the most prospective, well-endowed, but also underexplored porphyry district in Canada. This is one of the few places on Earth where you actually do create gigantic world-class systems. The Golden Triangle is a sweet spot of incredible prospectivity, but still there are opportunities such as our projects where the exploration maturity is relatively low. So there's still ample space to make discoveries by applying modern techniques and a good team. Historical operators really just scratched the surface of this, and what we were able to do is put together all these small projects into one huge cohesive project and tie everything together so we can step back and approach this from a mineral systems approach. The same thing the majors do around the world. Our goal is to sell this to a major, so we're trying to think like a major and look at this like a big system. Where is the sweet spot?
I think with targeting though, generally, it mostly always comes down to what's been misunderstood. What can we understand that they missed? And that's always where the value's added. Structural control is the huge one. There hasn't really been structural targeting. The cover, hiding systems, how do you hide them? Where can you hide them? You can hide them with the lithocap, stripping out the metal and the grade. You can hide them with a younger basin, post-mineral intrusions. There's quite a few ways you can hide the systems, and you can hide them by complicating the alteration patterns, interpreting a porphyry pattern where it was a gold system pattern and vice versa. And that's kind of what we can tease out, I think.
When we first got the drill core in hole 11 that started showing copper mineralization, it was pretty apparent we were dealing with a porphyry system. We knew we weren't into ore grade when we drilled that hole, but we knew we were into a really large system and likely just on the outskirts of it. When we're in the intrusion at Williams, we're seeing really good grades. In places you're getting over 1% copper and 1 gram gold. Clearly you've got a fertile intrusive at depth here feeding all of this. The only problem there is the intrusions aren't big enough to create the alteration system at hang. So it really put the results from our new discovery into context, and to say we're excited is an understatement, because what you see at Williams, if you were to multiply it by, say, 10 or more, that's kind of what we're seeing at Hank. We're seeing copper getting pushed way further out in the lateral, cooler environment. So I would say that we're dealing with a different beast, similar, but potentially much larger at Hank. Seeing that drill core coming out of the ground was probably one of the most exciting experiences I've seen in my career as a geologist. Yeah, it was awesome.
One thing I think's been really interesting is every time we learn something new about one area, it informs the other areas, and it just keeps feeding into an improved exploration model for this whole region. And that's not something that would have been possible when these were kind of broken up into sort of postage stamp packages.
You often hear people say that every exploration project has a 1 in 1,000 chance of ever becoming a mine. I don't believe that to be true, because not all projects are equal and not all teams are equal. Certain teams have made many discoveries throughout their career. If you have a good project, you have a good team, and you have access to capital, that's the exact formula that leads to making multiple discoveries and bucking that trend. I never thought I would have a project like this. You know, having this much ground in the most prospective part of BC is incredible. But I gotta say, I'm more proud of the team we built because you can have the best ground ever, but without a team, you're never gonna find anything. The team we put together is, you know, just as world-class as the project we have. That's how you make discoveries. You put people like that together and they will make discoveries. We have one drill hole in you know, showing a new discovery. This is the year that we go out and hopefully confirm it. The goal this year would be to go out and find the limits of the system and then progress it in a year or two towards a resource. That's the ultimate goal. The odds are always against you in exploration. Yeah, the odds are always against you in exploration. So many things can go wrong, but this is the best target I've ever seen. The goal of any geologist is to make a discovery. A lot of geologists don't, and they can still have a successful career. I think our team is a little more competitive than that. I would not consider my career a success without making it a bona fide discovery. And when I mean a discovery, I mean something that goes on to become a mine and creates a legacy of creating jobs for the local Telten and then all people in BC. So I think that is really what you want to do as a geologist, make a discovery that lives long past you, and has some type of long-term impact on the economy. It's the burning question of, like, we think we're onto a major deposit right here, and it's hard to be patient waiting to sink those holes into it, because if it is there, it's going to be transformational. And I truly believe this is the opportunity to find the next really big deposit in BC.